ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, everybody.
We are in a little bit of a different venue today. We're also missing two very important people, but we miss you guys, Charlene and Trevor.
I hope you're enjoying the time with your family.
Yes.
We're gonna. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. By all means.
We're gonna sit together, talk a little bit about ourselves, give a little brief touch on what's happening in the market, but really just have fun and let you guys get to know us a little. Well, Allie opens up.
I know. Well, I'm opening. We can't start without the one.
We can't.
We're
Yeah,
with this, but yeah, we're just wanting to have a little bit of a, I guess, give you guys a little bit more of a glimpse of really who we are. I know kind of our first couple of videos we were giving some information on like kind of the very basics, why we got in real estate, what we do.
Yeah.
But we want to give you guys a little bit more of an insight. We're more complicated than that. Like Shrek says, we are an onion. We have layers.
We're not just real estate.
Right. Gosh, that would be so simple if it was. But yeah, just a little bit more about us. Katy, you want to go?
I'll go first. Yeah. Born and raised here in Salem. I have a 13-year-old son, Emmett, who will be 14 in February.
Growing like a freaking weed.
Oh my gosh, this boy grows. Seems like it
Over time.
Yeah.
He really does. I saw him like I think he's taller than me.
He might be.
I'm pretty sure
not just your height. I'm about 5'5", and he's definitely taller.
I'm only like an inch taller than you, so.
You're always wearing heels.
I know. That's why I said you. I wish I was 6 foot, but continue.
Oh wow, I don't. I think I would feel. I don't know. I never given that too much thought.
I think I always liked this height. There was something about it where it's like I just never wanted to be short. So
I mean, the weight I'm at now, I wouldn't mind being a little taller than this versus a little
like yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Right.
Yeah. I also have 2 doggos. I think we touched on Zoe on one of our last episodes, the little corn dog.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have Bear. They're both rescues. He's German Shepherd mixed with something. And they're just a total dynamic duo. They absolutely love each other. Bear is so protective over Zoe.
It's such a cutie.
She has him wrapped around her pinky finger.
It's just sad because he's like so big and she's just this little micro thing.
I know.
And it's like so
She packs a punch. Like she will not hold back on how she feels about something.
She's too cute. She's the cutest little thing. Her little eyes, and it's like she's always up to something.
Well, she is, and then randomly you just get this feeling like someone's staring at you. You stare over her eyes. What? Oh my God, Emmett and I were playing, I think you pronounce it Mancala. It's a little like stone passing game.
Okay.
You know.
Mancala?
I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
I think that's how you pronounce it. So we were sitting on Emmett's bed playing it, and Bear was right there. I was actually winning this round. I was like, all right, great. Well, Bear comes along, the board's like about this long, and just puts his nose under and just flips it up.
Like sabotage.
I'm like, Bear, I was winning. He just kind of looks at me like,
Emmett told me to do it.
oh, I know. Yeah, I'm sure they have some sort of
telekinesis thing. Yeah, whatever. No, telekinesis moving stuff.
You can read each other's minds.
Right, there you go. And boy and his dog.
Oh, yeah. They love that boy, too, so much.
Okay, so I know. Right, what else? You're basically born and raised, and your whole family's born and raised in
6th generation. I have roots, I guess you would say, that go pretty deep here in the area. Out in Silverton also. We have a pretty funny family history story. I don't know if you get into it, but the story goes that my great-grandfather met my great-grandmother in France, and she would not move here until he built her a house. I believe this is how the story goes.
Should be.
If any of my family hears this and I'm wrong, please correct me. But so we built a house, brought her to, of all places, from France, from Paris, France. I believe it was Paris. Of all places, to Silverton, Oregon.
It's like, what did I do?
And if any of you know the history of Silverton, it was not always a paved town like many others, but it was a logging town. So real dirty, very not developed. So she comes here and she won't get out of bed until he gives her a wedding ring. Again, just the story I've heard.
I'm
so got a wedding ring and had 2 babies, one of them being my grandma, and then my great-great-grandparents are buried in the cemetery in Silverton across from the Wilco there.
That's awesome. I honestly, it's inspiring. So when you told me that story, that's why I'm like, you know what? Build me a house. That should be like the minimum. Build me a house, buy me a house, and I'm not getting out of bed until you put a ring on. It's inspirational.
She knew what she was doing.
It's inspirational.
Yeah.
What gosh, you have to do it now. You have to be able to.
Too late. I'm too old to do that.
Some of this. Like, build me a house. But
Can you imagine?
I need some stick built fort on the forest. Here's your house. No matches though. No matches. A tarp. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Man.
So that's some of my story.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. I'm going to be super honest about mine. Okay, so I'm born and raised in Houston. Went to school in Austin. Met a boy, man.
So it always starts.
Right? It's
a boy.
A boy. A boy man. Gosh. We ended up getting engaged after, obviously. So it's not like, I got engaged after a month or something. After dating, obviously, a couple of years. Got engaged. He had family up here. So ended up moving up here to Oregon. Have been up to Oregon multiple times for track and field and stuff. So I was like, okay, not too unfamiliar.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's like the mayonnaise of all the states. It's just very,
Oregon?
Yes, that's how I've explained it to people. I'm like, or it's very hippie, but it's like the mayonnaise of all the condiments. Like, it's just,
No, it's not the mayonnaise.
What would you call it? It's not like mustard, or it's like not even
I feel like
spicy
the mayonnaise
mayo.
would be somewhere in the Midwest.
Look, Oregon. Okay, Oregon is Portland ketchup. Let's say that.
Okay.
You know that ketchup?
Oh, yeah.
It tastes horrible.
Yeah.
It tastes disgusting.
I can't.
I absolutely.
I think I have had it. I don't know.
It's funny. It tastes like normal ketchup.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's the
Absolutely. If it tastes funny, then add stuff over it and Portland ketchup.
But moved up here. Didn't really know anyone but his family. Obviously worked a previous job. I worked in a job for asset management. Well, I was in love, Katy.
That is so brave.
I was with my to be.
The furthest I have ventured out is West Salem.
Silverton is further than West Salem. Parts I've gone was a cross I-5. I haven't passed it yet.
But you just said asset management.
Yeah.
So funny story. Allie and I came from the same past employer.
Yeah.
We didn't know it until she started here.
Did not know until after I started. It was kind of one of those, wait, you know this person? You know this person?
Yeah. As soon as I heard that she had worked at this company, immediately hire her.
Yep. It's an interesting place. But yeah, worked there for, I think, like 2.5 years or 2 years. Way longer than I probably should have. And had already started getting my real estate license. And was like looking around like, okay, how am I going to do this? How am I going to make real estate work? Thought it was interesting. I've always been in marketing.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let's see how this works. Found you guys, applied. Had to go through like a 16-step interview process.
Poor thing.
I loved it. It was good. It was thorough. I embarrassed myself fully with this for another time, but the story.
That was also another reason I said hire her.
Too honest. Well, too
but it was pure and it was honest.
Yeah.
Like, you weren't afraid to just open up and be yourself.
Oh, it was just so, I thought about it after. So I ended up telling a story. They were like, oh, tell an embarrassing story about yourself. And I told one that was probably a little bit too personal, like a little bit too TMI. And I left and I was like, well, they're not going to hire me. I was like, that was too, like, you don't tell your employers this kind of information. But I ended up getting a call in the next couple of days and was like, oh, yeah, like, we want to extend you an offer. And I was like, absolutely.
Well, also, wine was involved that evening.
Yes.
You were drinking wine.
But still, it was one of those, like, you know what, let me just see kind of what happens if I throw that out there, my personality and all.
You might as well.
Yeah.
So you'll know if it's a good
fit.
culture.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you definitely fit right in.
It was perfect. So I ended up cutting my other job, coming to you guys, and I think, gosh, what was it, like 6 months into me being there, broke up with said fiance.
Was it 6 months?
I think it was, or less than that. Was it
I feel like
3
it was
months?
less than that.
2 to 3 months.
It was
I
like,
think,
it was
into
pretty soon, because it was like, whoa, it was kind of like,
because I got hired a little after my birthday. No, I was interviewing during my birthday. I think it was, yeah, like 1 or 2.
it was really short.
Yeah.
After. Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, but ended up calling it quits with the man child, and then have been here since.
Yes. You're not going anywhere.
No, I love it here. I don't think I could go to a normal 9 to 5. I think after you do real estate, it would be really hard to.
I think it would too. I was thinking about that. It was today, because I had to go out and meet an inspector for a sewer scum listing. And then I forgot to get dog food last night. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to run to the store, get dog food, take him out, feed him. If I had a regular 9 to 5, there's no way I would be able to just say, okay, well, I'm just going to run here real quick, run it out, and then head back to the office. We're pretty lucky in that aspect.
Oh, absolutely. It's the flexibility of like kind of what you can. I mean, obviously, it's still. I think real estate it's your life. It's not a 9 to 5 or 7. It really is. It's so incorporated into your personal and social life that it really is one of those. You do work way more than a normal 3-hour week.
Absolutely.
But
phone is always on and always available and.
But just laptops. But it's one of those things of being able the flexibility to go do that stuff kind of like randomly, or go to appointments, or go do whenever when you need to is it's a nice little tidbit.
Absolutely.
To stay.
Yeah, just staying in contact and up to date communication. That's a huge part of it. And wherever we're at, we're able to keep in communication with our clients. So
That's true.
It works.
Yeah.
It works.
I am trying to think. Do you have a market update? What's going on with the market, Katy?
Good question. So we're still sitting at roughly about 3 months of inventory. Let me grab my trusty notes here. So to be exact, 1,092 in all 4 counties. That includes residential homes, condos, and manufactured homes of any kind. Now, in the last week, 54 new homes have come on the market, but 62 have gone under contract.
Nice.
So homes are selling more than they're coming on the market at this point, which is reasonable because of the interest rates. And then holidays, people, most people, unless there's a real solid reason, aren't going to be super interested in listing their home during the holidays. Completely understandable. After the new year, you'll probably see a pretty big change in that. You'll see more homes come on the market and probably more buyer activity. Holidays are over. People are just kind of getting back into their daily life routine.
Right.
Getting back on track with their goals and schedules and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then pending in all 4 counties is 501. So a little less than half of what's currently active.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you told me about it. And then I saw an article that Texas now has a lawsuit out.
That was pretty big.
Yeah.
Don't remember how many people exactly.
48.
Oh, that's a lot of people.
But interesting in this one, the NAR is not named in it.
Really?
But they are credited as credited as the creator. So they have a whole list of real estate agencies, big and small, in their lawsuit, but NAR isn't in there.
I feel like a lot of the new lawsuits that are coming up, they're coming at more local
That's what,
agencies than the larger ones, like the national ones.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with that. And then if it ever makes it, at a certain point.
I mean, the only thing that I know we can truly depend on is there's always a market. There's always a market.
Yeah.
Something is always happening. I mean, even though like we'll see what happens, I think it's more so my opinion, and this is just mine. This is not fact. This is not, don't quote me on it in 6 months, obviously, if stuff changes.
No one has a crystal ball.
Right. But it's more of, I think it's going to more so just solidify I think there was kind of a blur of the lines, I believe, with some agencies where people were quoted and are on video stating, we do not, we don't negotiate commission. And it's just a flat fee. Like there's so many statements that are out there by, people who run national corporations. It's scary. And it's like, there were a lot of, I think, blurring of the lines of kind of what happened. And I think this is just a little bit, it's a serious reality check to say like, hey, let's go, like, are we going into another era that we shouldn't be going? Are you stating stuff that you shouldn't be stating?
Right.
It's a hard reality check, but I think it is necessary. And, just with real estate in general, it might change some stuff. We might go a little bit more European on kind of how we do things. But, it'll be interesting to kind of see what happens. But I think it is a good thing that, at least stuff is like kind of coming out.
Absolutely. And I think change is always necessary. It's always a good idea to look at how is business being done? Can it be done more efficiently? Can it be done more transparently?
Mm-hmm.
Is transparently a word?
Yeah. We're going to say it is.
Check on that for
transparently. It is a word. Well, speaking of the new year, I mean, you obviously see, for people who are watching on YouTube and stuff, or even seeing the little clips, we are working on our New Year's postcards that we're sending to clients.
Yes.
Me and Katy, we're looking rather cute on our little flashy postcard. So for those lucky few who are on our list to get one, which is everybody, be excited about getting one. Yes. Or even if you don't think, hey, reach out, let us know if you want one. We'd be more than happy to send you one.
Absolutely.
But a little cute little praise from us. Yeah, a little thank you just for supporting us, supporting the channel, supporting our new podcast. So
very exciting, and we love the support we're getting from everyone.
That was amazing.
We're having
Hope and Mary, they're just the sweetest people. They were on, or who haven't watched, they were on our past two podcasts, and they're just the sweetest, cutest little family.
Oh yeah,
ever.
Oh,
like if I could copy 10 of them, like I would do it over and over. They're just the sweetest people ever.
It was so cute. We were talking about how Sand Lake Road, there was a massive landslide.
Yeah.
And Mary texted us and said, hey, my dad saw your podcast and sent pictures of the road. So
scary.
It was
way worse than I thought.
Her dad was like, oh, I'm sorry about that. But that's going to be a massive project.
Oh, it is. I mean, honestly, some of the things I thought, like Texas, like building and construction was bad. Here, it's just like, okay, like how long is this going to take? I think every person who's moved here or who's thinking about moving here, specifically for Salem, has asked when they're making another bridge.
Oh, God.
I think that's been this question.
Sorry, that was a terrible reaction. But I heard about these discussions since I was little.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's insane that they haven't already. I'm like, you're going to do it when it's to the point where
they'll bring it up and then it gets
I want to know why. Salem Chamber, Salem City, Salem, hey, Governor, Mayor, why? This is not happening. I want it to now. It's just interesting. I'm like, why wait? I get funds, I get money, I get all of that kind of stuff. But like, why, like, projected 2030 like that to have a new bridge built? It's been a point of contention for a very long time. I think it's going to be because when they do it, it's going to be excuse my French, a clusterfuck. It's going to be absolutely horrible. Yeah. Like whenever they do end up doing it. It'll be interesting. Yeah. It's, I don't know. I'll see how that happens. If anyone does have any updated information on it, though, let us know. Oh my gosh. But yeah, we are, again, making our little postcards, obviously have our laptops with us wherever we go. I do want to give one little shout out.
Oh, yes.
It is to I basically want to call them our personal wood makers. They can literally take a tree and turn it into a gorgeous item, whether it be a board, a charcuterie board, little knickknacks, little like trick, what are those little game things? Like wooden like games, or if you like to fidget with stuff, like little fidget things.
Yeah.
They also made these for us. So it's Tinja Woodworks. Tinja Workshop. They are an amazing local organization that makes these. They're super personal. It's a mom and pop shop. Again, Ruben, Jessica, shout out to you guys. You have been absolutely amazing. We are not the easiest clients. We are particular when it comes to some things, but you guys have been absolutely amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And
They always get it right.
exactly, yes. And these are one of the things that they made for us. So if you ever need anything personalized to make, we'll have their information below, but reach out to them because they are, again, amazing. The sweetest of people, so kind, so amazing. And if they can't figure it out, they're going to figure out a way around it to make it the product that you want it to be. So shout out to them. I know I have like, I think 2 or 3 of their items now.
Yeah, I have a knife block.
Oh yeah, do you?
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Oh, so I have the board.
Oh, yeah.
And it has my last one that says Saunders family on it, and I have it. And I think everyone who comes over like ends up commenting on
Oh,
it.
I'm sure.
And I'm like,
yeah,
well, I know the person, I know the owner.
we're friends.
So none of this that comment.
I love that.
Gosh, I know one of the things we were going to start doing, and I want to get kind of people's opinions on it if they want to hear, I guess more so our reaction or our opinions. So we were going to do some clips from, I guess, some, not local, obviously, but some like Selling Sunset. What are the other shows? Gosh, I really want to watch Netflix.
Selling, so that's
Buy or Sell.
like the HGTV.
Yes, a lot of the HG like housing shows, and basically not to tear them apart, but to critique them a little bit. And we actually have a surprise person popping in.
Surprise guest.
We have Dewey showing up. She's our principal
at her.
partner and the owner of the Salem Real
Look
Estate
at all
Group.
sporty. Caught off guard. It was planned the whole time. Yeah, Dewey.
She will be on the podcast soon, very, very soon. But we're waiting for 2024 to have her on so you can really ask those hard-hitting questions for her. She's had, gosh, I think I'm going to round up to say about 40 plus years of experience now in real estate.
She's amazing.
Has been our advisor, our mentor for as long as we've been in real estate. And, you know,
Yeah.
gosh, she's a wealth of knowledge and advice for us. So
I don't think there's ever been a situation I can recall that she has not been able to figure out a solution for.
oh my gosh, if not, she will figure it out. I mean, some of the stuff that comes, I'm like, okay, what do we do? I'm panicking, or Katy's panicking.
She's like, girls,
We've got it. Everything's always working out for us.
Yeah.
is the phrase.
That's right. That's right. Cheers to that.
But it's actually kind of perfect that she popped in.
I know. That was perfect timing.
I got the view. I was like, here's showing up. I don't know if we mentioned earlier, we're in our office actually. So we're in a change of venue.
Yeah, you'll notice.
We're not at Guild Mortgage today. We are actually at our office. So the Salem Real Estate Group over on Liberty Road in South Salem.
4395 Liberty Road. If anyone stop by and say hi.
This is home away from home. We'll give a little bit of a tour kind of later, but it is the most comfortable, probably homey little office. I know people don't really like using the word homey, but in the best way possible.
It is. Yeah, comfortable. It's got a full kitchen, a full bathroom.
Yep.
So if we want to work out in the morning, midday, come in, shower, get ready for the rest of the day. We have everything that you need here. Amazing.
Absolutely, it's an amazing place. Speaking of showering and working out, not that way, but you were talking about doing, what is it, the
75 hard.
okay, I'm excited, but I'm also nervous.
It's a must for me at this point.
We're got to a point now.
It's a must.
I think after like my knee injury, I'm like, I think this is like the really hard hitting, like, okay, I need to do it. I just need it.
I really noticed after my finger injury.
Oh my God. Okay, so
No.
no, we're talking about it because you mentioned it now. How did you injure your finger?
My giant dog, 70 pounds, decided to chase after a cat from a complete stop to full speed. And my hand got caught in the leash, wrapped around my fingers, and tore. Obviously, my fingers are still intact, but tore something. I think it might be some kind of tendon. I don't know.
You definitely tore something. It was discolored and poofy.
Yeah, the color is coming back a little bit. But yeah, ever since that injury, I haven't really been able to keep the weight off.
All I got like here, I get a phone call from her and she was like, and I'm like, when are you coming to the office? I was like, oh, like in a little bit. She's like, okay, I need someone to wrap up my fingers. I'm like, wait, what happened? Like, what did you do? She tells me what's happened. She can't bend her fingers. They're swollen. They're blue. And I'm just like, are you going to the hospital? You're going to go, no, I'm just going to wait to see what happens.
I feel like at that point, all they would have done was the same thing, wrapped them up and been like, oh, just,
That's the only mom and me where I'm like, are you nothing to go to the hospital or going to the hospital?
If for like my knee, then maybe.
Are you gonna hurt me whenever I hurt my? I was like, no, I'm okay. I'm okay. I can walk.
I can see it. Walk it off.
That's why I was like, my leg's not working. I can't.
What was your, tell them what your injury was.
Oh my God. Okay, so I tore, it's so gross, but I tore my patella tendon. So it's the little ligament that connects your kneecap to your shin. And so basically it's what helps you bend and like straighten your knee. Like if it's torn, you can't do, or who can see this, you can't do that. So when it's torn, it basically disconnects that. So you can't force it to lift up. You can't force it to bend down. Your knee will automatically just bend. And yeah, it was like initially whenever it happened, I was just like, you know what? It's okay. Like, we're okay. We're okay. Because I was running in the rain.
Oh.
I will never do that ever again. Running in the rain. And hop, like, kind of ran off. You know, when you go off a curb, you don't, like, you kind of just do, like, a little jump, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Landed wrong and kind of was trying to correct myself. And I guess when that happened, it popped. Or it tore.
That sounds so painful.
Fell in the rain. And then whenever I fell and I kind of, like, straightened myself out, I, like, didn't really look at it. I just, like, ow, like, you know, okay, I just fell. But then I felt my kneecap and it was in the wrong area. And I was like, we're okay. So I just like, I straightened my leg as far as I could and it popped back, but it was too high. Like, Katy, it was like up here. It was disgusting. Like, I was just like, you know what? And it's like, we're okay. We're okay. Like, just trying to think like nothing was wrong.
We're not okay.
Like, I was like, no, like, I'm okay. And like got up and realized like I can't like, you know, I can't put tension in my quad. Like I can't flex it. I was like, okay, no, like I'm gonna walk a little bit, try to walk. And it was just like everything. It was like either imposter syndrome or it was that other thing where you think you can do everything. What's the one where it's like, oh, I can go fly a fighter jet like right now. I don't know what it's called.
Oh, I don't know, but
there's two different things. It was like, it was either imposter syndrome or it was that. But I was like, everything's fine. Like, I walk. And like, nothing's really hit me yet. Like, adrenaline's going. And
oh, yeah.
Like, you know what? I'm okay. Like, the last thing that's going to happen right now is that I tore something. And after like a couple of steps, and like the pain started coming, I was like, it's definitely wrong. Like, something's definitely wrong.
Well, yeah, your kneecap's up here. So
obviously wrong. I was like, no, this is where it's supposed to be. It's actually supposed to be.
It was in the wrong place all my life.
Right. It's always been here. I've always had a baby face knee. It's always been here. Oh my God.
That was rough.
I just remember I called my parents, they didn't answer, and then I ended up calling Dewey and David. I called David.
Oh.
That's what he called, and I was like, I just want to let you know I'm not going to be at work tomorrow. I'm not going to be at work tomorrow. I'm at the hospital. And I'm trying not to cry.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh no. I was like, I just want to let you know I'm off my phone with me.
Oh my God. I'm going into surgery.
Oh God, it was
This is how dedicated she is.
Oh, it was just so bad. I was just delusional. I was like, everything's fine. Because when you go into the emergency room, they don't really give you like, this is what's wrong. They kept giving me and either kind of tore it, PT will fix it, or worst case, like you completely tore it and you're going to have to get surgery. And I was just like, we're going to think positive. I was like, I didn't tear it. PT is going to fix this.
Yeah.
PT is going to fix this.
We'll be done in a couple weeks.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be fine. And then, like, after they, like, did, tech scans and all this other stuff, and they're like, no, you definitely tore it. And I was like, dude, like, the worst. And it's just like, everything just after, because I couldn't bend it. Like, if you bend it, it just shoots pain everywhere. But, no, it's an interesting experience. Don't tear your patella tendon. Don't do it. Fun fact of the day. Don't do it. That's my advice for the day, actually. Don't tear your patella.
That's really good.
Yeah. That's it. The advice going into 2024. Don't tear it.
I love that.
Tear anything.
It'll be your mantra for 2024.
Your patella tendon.
Favor. Tell it.
Oh my gosh. Well, we got some market advice from you. We know what it's kind of doing. Buyers are being a little bit.
Yeah, you've seen an uptick in some buyer.
I have. So to rehash kind of where we're at, Katy's the director of operations here at the Salem Real Estate Group. I'm a marketing and sales director. So I kind of have, Katy definitely has her eye on both sides, listings as well as on the buyer side, but I kind of focus a little bit more on the buyer side. And we are getting a little bit more uptick. We're seeing more people kind of venturing out, coming out of, their cocoon and saying like, okay, they smell interest rates are diving down a little bit. They're popping out a little and, wanting to get a little bit more information. I think right now is the big thing is education on what you can and can't do. I think a lot of people's first reaction is, I just assuming that they can't buy right now. And it's like, hey, you actually might be able to with a whole bunch of loans and different types of things. Obviously, Trevor would normally talk right now when it comes to that stuff. That's available for people that they just don't know about.
Or just being afraid to have that conversation. Taking that first step. Having that conversation, I get it. It can be scary. It can be intimidating. There is one side of it where people don't want to share their financial information. Completely understand. But get over that initial hump of I'm scared to talk to someone.
Right.
And it's so much easier after that. That's that first step. It really makes you feel a lot better once you talk to someone. Just realize, wow, that was actually a pretty easy conversation.
Right.
It wasn't such a scary experience.
I think it's more so, I think people are worried of judgment or finding out that hearing the word no that they can't buy a home. And I don't think that's really ever the answer you're going to get. You might not be able to purchase now is most likely the answer you're going to get from a well-versed and educated mortgage broker is saying, hey, what you can do to buy are going to be these steps, not necessarily just saying, hey, it's going to be absolute no.
Exactly.
It's going to be, hey, well, we are going to be able to get you to that point, but it's just going to take it a little bit longer and a couple more steps to actually get you there.
Yep.
It's more so, would you rather know what you need to do than kind of just be blind and kind of have the blinders on and just be like, well, I'm not going to kind of rent forever.
Assume I can. If you do run into talking to a lender that says, sorry, you can't buy a house, call us and we'll refer you to an amazing lender who, if you can't buy right now, will get you on the path to buy at some point. And then I think, at least in my mind, what I think people are starting to realize is, while mortgage payments right now might be a little bit higher than rent in some cases, as long as you rent, you're never building equity for yourself. So you might be paying a little bit more in your mortgage right now, you're building equity, and you have the potential to refinance to a lower rate when lower rates come around. So all in all, when people ask, when is a good time to buy? When you're ready. That's when it's a good time to buy.
Yeah.
Honestly, at any time.
It is. It's not at any time. I know a lot of people are probably, while they're scrolling through Instagram and social media and all that kind of stuff, you keep hearing the ages where it's like, buy now, buy now, buy now. And, now is always a great opportunity to buy. It always is. If you are in that position where you're able to, absolutely do it. I mean, why wait? But you'd rather be in the position of knowing what you need to do, and then buying 6 months from now, buying a year from now, like because like Katy said, it's like you're going to be gaining equity once you've purchased a home rather than just renting the entire time.
Exactly. Yeah. And people who say, I'm just going to wait for prices to come down.
They're never coming down.
You're probably going to, I mean, right now is actually a really good time to buy because you're unlikely to run into a bidding war like there was a couple years ago. So you'll be able to get the home that you're wanting or asking price, potentially a little bit less depending on the situation, and then still be in a position to refinance down the road. Whether, on the other hand, if you were to wait for interest rates to come down, prices aren't going to come down with it. Historically, if interest rates go down, the prices go up, vice versa. So if you are waiting to see what happens, what you're going to see happen is prices are going to raise. If interest rates come down, you're going to see more bidding wars from people. You're going to see homes go over asking price. You're going to see people, willing to pay an appraisal gap. So there's not going to be as many issues of homes not appraising. So we could see ourselves in a very similar situation where we were a couple years ago.
Right. I mean, the one thing we can say for sure is rents will always go up.
Yeah.
Those are going to come down. Yeah, they're never going to come down. If anything, rent is always going to increase.
Yeah.
But that's our little chat about real estate today.
Yeah. So if you want to talk more about it, or if you guys have some insights yourselves, let us know.
Yeah, please don't have to share that. Reach out, ask us questions. We are here to educate and inform, not just to critique about selling sunset.
Right. If you have any suggestions for our podcast or any feedback, we'd love to hear it. We're always open to suggestions, feedback. We got some really good feedback from actually a past client of ours. It was super helpful. So we're always open to it.
Absolutely. I know one of the things, I think Trevor's supposed to go to Bag of Crab. I saw.
Oh, yeah.
He's supposed to go to it soon. He's going to give us a review on it to see how he liked it or not.
All right. So he's back.
But Katy's after our, what is it? Our 75
part. We will see you guys next time. I think, is this our 2 month?
I think it is. I think we're almost at 2 months now, but this will be our eighth episode. So thank you to everyone who has kept up with us so far. Again, please, we would love any feedback. I mean, anything is better than nothing. Let us know if you want us to talk about anything specific, if you want to get to know us more, if you want to know kind of what's going on more socially in the Salem, Kaiser, Willamette Valley area. We are working on that to kind of get you guys a little bit more informed about what's happening out there and actually give you a little bit more, reviews of places that we've been in to give you a little bit more footage on it. After we do a couple of our, challenges and our no drinking for a little bit, we are actually going to go to a lot of wineries and breweries. So we'll be able to give you guys our reviews on those.
Right. We'll be looking fantastic.
Amazing.
She already does.
Let's try. Okay. But thank you guys for joining us once again, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you.
Hold My Wine, a Wonderfully Willamette podcast, has been brought to you by Guild Mortgage and the Salem Real Estate Group. Produced by Biscuits and Waffles Productions. A special thanks to Charlene Morgan with Charlene Tracy Films for editing this podcast.